Hi, welcome back to the next installment of Follet, the video book. Today's video snippet is the first part of chapter 18. And I should let you know ahead of time that in this video snippet, there is nothing you can't share with anyone at all. Young, old, whomever you want to share this with. And once again, here's the commercial. I'll post a link so that you can go to Amazon.com and purchase a copy of this novel in ebook or paperback, whichever you prefer. Or if you'd rather have me read it to you, you can check out the videos, and they're all numbered, so you can go through it one at a time in order. It's a little tougher that way, but it's okay. Okie doke. If you're ready, we'll begin. Here we go. Early in the morning, about 3 a.m., the hour of the wolf, Follet awakened to an agonized scream. He stumbled out of bed, slipped on his pants, and rushed out into the hall. A new scream echoed through the big house. It came from downstairs. Follet ran down the staircase and into the living room. Phobetor stood in the middle of the room, wings spread, anguish in his eyes, fists clenched. "My children! The exorcists have attacked my children!" the great lord howled. Follet stood stunned, unable and unwilling to say anything, knowing that Phobetor would say what he could, when he could. "I can feel them being torn apart," the father of nightmares sobbed. "In New Orleans, so close and so far away." "What can we do, Phobetor?" Follet asked. "Avenge them and finish this war," Phobetor answered in a whisper that held more menace than Follet had ever heard. "I'm here, my friend." Follet reached for Phobetor and lay a hand on his shoulder. Phobetor turned his gaze on Follet, and his burning red eyes fixed on the incubus. "I know, Follet. Thank you." Phobetor turned and walked into his study and closed the door. Follet walked slowly back upstairs to Mary. Mary was standing next to the bed wearing a too-big t-shirt. "What's happening?" she asked Follet. "Someone has attacked Phobetor's children in New Orleans. That's all I know for now," he answered. "Let's get dressed and see what we can do," Mary suggested. Follet nodded and reached for the rest of his clothes. 5 minutes later, Follet and Mary went downstairs. The door to the study was still closed. Mary said, "I'll make us some coffee." Follet said, "I'll help," knowing that there was little that he could do for anyone right then. Mary found a big stainless steel coffee urn and filled it to make a couple of gallons of joe. Follet sat at the kitchen table feeling like a fifth wheel. As the kitchen filled with the comforting aroma of fresh brewed coffee, Phobetor pushed open the door, walked in, and sat down at the table next to Follet. "Thank you, Mary," he said. "We'll be needing a lot of coffee this morning." "What can you tell me, Phobetor?" she asked. "We knew that the exorcists were planning something, but we underestimated them. We thought that they would use prayer and incense, amulets and dream catchers, and all the little ways folk in every culture for hundreds of years have known to ward off bad dreams. We never expected them to send the Baku." Baku. The Baku were born in China but traveled to Japan about 800 years ago. They are a chimera with an elephant's trunk, a rhinoceros' eyes, an ox tail, and tiger's paws, colored anywhere from bright pink to black. A dreamer can call upon them to eat a nightmare, but they are hungry creatures, and if they are called too often, they will eat all of a person's dreams, hopes, and desires, leaving them little more than an empty shell. The exorcists must be desperate to call upon these dream eaters. Phobetor continued. "The exorcists are using St. Louis Cathedral as their base. I suppose that they just chose the biggest church in town, not realizing that at least 3 ghosts dream there. Père Antoine rocks the alley on the north side of the cathedral, and Père Dagobert still haunts the cathedral. Jean Lafitte walks the alley on the south side. We have seen some of the exorcists venturing outdoors wearing amulets, and my people tell me that they've constructed gigantic dream catchers over every window in the nave and galleries of the cathedral." "Dream catchers?" wondered Mary. "The Ojibwe people believe that a dream catcher changes a person's dreams, catching bad dreams and letting the good dreams through. Originally, they were willow hoops about 3.5 inches in diameter with a spider's web made of sinew or plant fibers, or later yarn to protect sleeping people from nightmares. They have no effect on you and your brothers and sisters, Mary, because incubi and succubi work within the dreamer's own dream. For my children, though, they can be problematic. But for some of my friends and allies, they are flimsy as a cobweb, and these I have called to come and aid us in our retribution." Mary was about to ask when Phobetor saw her question. The locals should be here within the hour, and will visit the cowards in the cathedral before daybreak, harrying them and giving them no rest. The little Follet will use their lights to lure unsuspecting and greedy ones out of the cathedral. Those will never be seen again. Then les loups-garous will burst to tear the exorcists apart. For those evil men who are a little soft in the heart or in the head, ma petite Latiche will at first appear as a little lost child until he gets close enough for the dream thieves to see his scaly skin and webbed feet and hands and learn the lessons that his gator parents taught him. By then the sun will be coming up, and there are others who work in the light, the father of nightmares told her. I have called to the other world that lives side by side with this one, Yenevelt, and asked its queen Lilith to come to our aid. She visited our realm many, many times before. Even human poets like Dante Gabriel Rossetti wrote of her. Of Adam's first wife, Lilith is told, the which he loved before the gift of Eve, that ere the snakes her sweet tongue could deceive, and her enchanted hair was first gold. And still she sits young while the earth is old, and subtly of herself contemplative, draws men to watch the bright web she can weave, till heart and body and life are in its hold. The rose and poppy are her flowers, for where is he not found, O Lilith, whom she shed scent, and soft shed kisses and soft sleep shall snare? Lo, as that youth's eyes burned at thine, so went thy spell through him, and left his straight neck bent, and round his heart one strangling golden hair. Phobetor sat his night, taking a toll on his strength as well as his heart. Lilith, Lady Air, goddess of the south wind, will fly to New Orleans, the yellow sun a pale imitation of her golden hair. She will fall on these men without warning. I thought Lilith was a goddess of the night, Mary interrupted. Phobetor smiled sadly. The Babylonian Talmud does not say that a man who sleeps alone can be taken by Lilith, but Lilith is more than simply the lady of the night. She is understood by her worshippers, who bring her poppies and white roses, even today, as the manifestation of erotic dreams and the desire for delight. And for those nefarious fools who see dreams as evil things populated by demons, Lilith will fly into their lives as a blue butterfly, changed to her true form, a beautiful woman, with long golden hair and a serpent's tail. And as they seek to possess her, she will suck them dry. Their bloodless husks will blow away in the wind. He continued, if these vile men have buried incantation bowls upside down in the cathedral, she may be trapped. If they wear the magical amulets given to Hebrew children, or know her 7 names, and know enough to say them to her, she will leave. Or she will leave when her lust and thirst are sated. For those who are left, they dare not sleep, for when the sun sets and they rest, I'll send the others. At this, an enormous black hairy dog with steel paws clanked into the kitchen, walked to Phobetor and lay its head on his knee. Phobetor scratched the creature behind a massive ear. The monster closed its eyes in pleasure. This is Passanta. He will go with the others to suffocate the exorcists that remain alive. Others? Mary squeaked. The old hag will sit on their chests, immobilizing them and forcing the air from their lungs until they die, hag-ridden. Phobetor stifled a ghastly laugh. Will awaken the Pasquidar that lives in every house, and the Kayasque who live in the darkness under the stairs to repay them for their misdeeds, and the Alps and the Mara. Mary looked at Follet. Alp? Follet nodded. Yes, my friend Alp is what he is, at least what he did for a living before he met Lorelei. He turned to Phobetor. When would you like to go to New Orleans?